Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday and happy Kwanzaa. This is a new episode of the Right Info Podcast Show with your host, Kane Twan, speaking to you tonight. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and all and got everything that they wanted and enjoyed themselves. Now, tonight I'm going to discuss a topic that was discussed a while ago, or matter of fact, a few months back. It was dealing with the topic flued out. This is what tonight's topic is about: getting flued out, a trend that can lead to an unnecessary expectation. Now, while those free trips offers are in a person's DMs may be enticing, not everyone is who they say they are or who they say they really are, in a sense. And in many cases, they don't have what they say they have. We are all familiar with the quote unquote catfishing, right? Now, we all have this thing for dating and meeting new people. There are a few tips to help make sure you not only make it back home alive and in one piece, but also have an interesting story to tell. Interesting, I meant. My apologies. Number one, make sure you have all confirmations on the plane. Make sure the return flight is confirmed. This is very important. Common sense is not so common these days, so this is the most important tip that still needs to be shared. Flight confirmations, hotels, rental cars, and so forth are supposed to be accessible while traveling. Don't take anyone's word for it when it comes to your safety, especially while traveling and especially while traveling alone. Now, the second thing I want to talk about: don't ever make plans with a complete stranger. My apologies again. If you're interested in meeting someone in person, try to get to know them and who they are associated with and who they know and how long they've known that person. Everyone reads the news that human sex trafficking is going on, and it still is. And besides, this is 2022 and we're almost into 2023. And if a person hasn't FaceTime or face message, that is a sign that something is not right. Those are red flags that can be raised. And the redder those flags are, the harder they fly, because you don't know the person you're meeting with. And always bring emerging funds with you. All types of unseen situations can occur while traveling and traveling alone. And when in an argument or in an urgent emergency situation, I don't mean argument, I meant to say urgent. My apologies. The last thing you want is to be dependent on somebody else to help you out financially. And when it comes to being quote unquote flued out for a romantic rendezvous, make sure you have enough money in case things go left and any arrangements that are being made will be reneged on. They could be reneged on. And, just stay vigilant and not become complacent in detail and interactions. And ultimately, the most important tip to staying safe and having a good time out of town. If you're going to go out of town, have a good time, enjoy yourself. But watch who you're dealing with. Watch who you're meeting up with. You don't want to meet up with a complete stranger. You're meeting up with somebody you don't even know. So why go on the trip in the first place if you don't know the person? You could be talking to somebody and you don't know who they are. You see their face, then when you get to the place of where they are, they're not the person that they seem they are, or who they really supposed to be. And that could be wrong, very wrong. That, wouldn't make any sense. Getting flued out was an issue discussed a while back, where a girl went out of town on an invite from a guy that she met on social media. She was wined and dined. And, the next thing you know, when he wanted to go a little further and she said no, she wound up getting the short end of the stick because he told her, well, if I couldn't get what I wanted, we couldn't go any further. There's no sense of us continuing this relationship. So you're very much on your own. So you're going to have to go. She was very pissed about that. She spent all that money just to get to where he was. And when she found out that all he wanted was to take it further as far as being with her was concerned, and she said no, his whole attitude changed and he just abandoned her. And she did feel stupid, but she very much learned a valuable lesson. And this is a lesson that everybody should learn, that getting flued out is not a good thing. If you're going to get quote unquote flued out, be careful. be smart, and watch who you're dealing with or who you're talking to, especially when it comes to somebody on social media. And, this is what I want to discuss. This is a topic that was dealt with several months ago. It became a big issue. They all talked about it on social media. And, you don't hear about it that much no more because I guess everybody's being more careful now. And with that being said, this is what I want to discuss, the topic of being flued out, the rights and wrongs, the carefulness of it. And if you're going to meet somebody, make sure you do a thorough investigation or, interrogation of them. Even if you don't see them face to face. But if you do see them on like FaceTime, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, you ask them the questions that need to be asked. Don't leave nothing out whatsoever. So I was just giving the audience a true little informational tip about how that goes. And with that being said, this is the end of the Right Info podcast show with your host, King Twan speaking. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Hope everybody enjoyed their Kwanzaa. And, I'll be coming up with a new podcast pretty soon before the year is out. Wish everybody a good night. Have a good evening. Love you all. Bye-bye.